the Still Dripping Happy Hour. Welcome to episode 183 of the Still Dripping Happy Hour. This is your host, Mason. On the move tonight, we got Hayes. Holla.
You know what it is. I feel like this is already a very adversity episode.
Yeah.
From this first second today.
Yeah. Look, we are doing this because, God has given us the ability to do this. And if it's meant to be, we're not going to have any freeze ups. And what you don't know is before, how many times did we freeze up? I probably froze up 4 times, six times already, and lost my mic access twice.
So, and I'm out in the freaking hot as crap.
Ooh, you're struggling in the heat.
I don't want the sound of a fan going over the audio, so I got my door open right here, and that's the best we're going to be able to do.
We got the Cuban and the podcast pearls to bring us good luck tonight.
Yep.
I think this is going to be a pretty good episode. I'm feeling really good about this one.
There's been a lot of good.
There's been a lot of news.
Not even good, just a lot of news. Not all good.
A lot of news. That's very true. Before we get into that news, please go buy some merch at the Printify store. Still-drippin.printify.me. Check out everything that Hayes makes
has
from
created.
His beautiful brain. Yeah,
that's right.
Creator, influencer.
Mm-hmm.
I mean,
web
got
developer,
it all. Podcaster, web developer,
chemical engineer,
salesman, marketing.
Before you mean to tell you a funny story that's kind of related to all of this that you're saying real quick?
I would love that.
All right, you're gonna love this. So, it was 2 weeks ago. I had to take a quiz at work. It's the first. Yes, I mean it. It's like a test that we had to take. I haven't taken a test in 15 or 20 years, probably. And I was really some level nervous. It wasn't like like a fireable thing. It's not like a license. It was just like it was a test my department had to take. And I felt a little bit pressure because I've also been there for 13 years. So I'm like, I better do good on this. So I got a 98. Wow. And I was like, wow, I can't believe I got a 98. I was real proud. So, of course, like I would do, I get to my desk and I look at Fry Guy and I said, hey, dude, I just did really well on this test. You know what I never did good on? The ACT. Do you want to take the ACT? Without thinking, he says, yep. And over the lunch breaks of the next 3 or 4 days, took the ACT voluntarily.
You can do that just on lunch breaks?
Well, they're practice tests.
Okay, I got you.
So I just Googled. I wasn't going to pay for it, but I was like, okay. So I'm happy to report when I took the ACT in 1998, I took it 3 times, never got higher than an 18. It was a miracle I even got to college. Okay, I'm not very smart, if I made that very clear. My people skills and everybody I know is how I've gotten to this place, and hard work. But nonetheless, and the Lord Almighty, number one. So anyway, I say all that to say, really hesitantly but confidently, because I just got a 98 on this test, I was like, let's take the ACT. Fry Guy says, yep. So the first section is English, got a 22. I was like, oh, wow.
Very nice.
I could focus a lot more than I could when I was 17 or 18. I was like paying attention. Math, I was like, oh, fractions and all this crap I haven't thought about in 25 years.
Yeah.
I ended up with an 18. So I come back down to earth a little bit, which is interesting because I'm in the financial world, and nonetheless, math's not my strong suit. The only thing I can count is money. Like I count stacks. Anyway, number 3, science. I'm like, oh, crap, I'm going to suck at the science. Turns out the science and reasoning, it's way more of reasoning and way less like, here's how you make an atom. Right?
Yeah.
Got a 23.
Very nice.
So now I'm
Look
sitting
at
at like
ya.
a 21 average. I'm like, wow, I'm really happy going into the reading portion, right? Which I'm thinking this whole time, I'm like, I'm going to bomb math. I'm going to bomb science. I'm really going to have to turn it up on reading to get even a halfway decent, even to get an 18, right? 26.
Wow.
So my overall ACT score as a 44-year-old was a 23. I've
Wow.
improved 5 points, not studying at all. Cold, cold turkey, just because I can concentrate and I can read better and focus. Like that's the
Yeah.
only differences.
Hey, there you go.
So then let's keep the story on. Then I'm like, oh man, I'm gonna try to take the bar exam. I'm going to try to take a medical exam. The hardest medical exam in the world is called the USMLE, like United States Medical, whatever. I'm on question 25 of that. I'm bombing it. I got like 1 out of 25 so far. So then I'm like, I'm going to take a general contractor's licensing test. I ended up with a 37 on that. That's not good, not even close to failing. I mean, not even close to passing, but nonetheless, I was like, 37. 37. That ain't bad. I mean, I guess. So now I've talked Friday Guy into, and we're going to take the LSTAT, the bar exam, the CFP. We're going to take all the hard tests and just see how we do.
Okay.
But I figured it's like a Seinfeld episode. Kind of feels like a Seinfeld episode. But
Yeah.
all because
Okay.
I took this stupid quiz and got a 98, and it led me to taking the ACT.
That is very interesting.
Yeah. I thought it was very interesting.
Yeah. All right. Yeah.
All
I
right,
don't
now move
really
on.
know where to go from there, but
What's inside the box?
well,
Da-da-bum.
yeah.
What's inside the box? That's my shoe in the box.
All right. First up, I wanted to share a little preview of next year's Jordan releases. I don't know if you've seen this picture, but it's pretty bonkers. Let me add this.
Yeah,
What?
this is the best Jordan. They are hearing their fans. That's what's happening. They are listening to the consumer. This is ridiculous.
Yeah, it is. We've got shattered backboard ones. We've got the Union ones, which is the Shadow and the Chicago colorway. Metallic fives, Flu Games, UNC 12s, Aqua 8s, Black Cat 3s, the undefeated collab 4s. I think those might be some more 4s that are the SB 4s, maybe. Some white cement 4s, bread 1s, and UNC 1s. This is nuts. If you space these out properly, this is back to 2017, 2018 Jordan lineups. We don't need all these other Statue of Liberty 5s and Turbo Green and whatever, Hyper Royal, all the other ones. We don't need those. This is what we need. Jordan doesn't have to come out with any other shoes for the whole year next year. And they will, but they don't have to. These are glorious.
I think we're looking at least 7 Grail level shoes here. The top 3 on both. The Flu Games. You and me personally would put the Aqua 8s in there.
Yeah. The undefeated 4s, I mean, that's a shoe with a lot of lore around it.
But I mean,
Grail for people.
First of all, Nike, based on profit margin and all that kind of stuff, marketing, sales, yada, 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 one-on-one things, they have no choice but to do something like this, number one. Number two, it feels like they're listening. It's like, hey, we just want, don't, if it ain't broke, don't fix it. You should always grow or you're dying. But like, this is just shoes, man. You're overcomplicating it with all this other crap. This is back to the basics. Like, here we go.
Yeah. I think, and we've gotten way away from this, and I don't know if it's because we have so many releases, but if they make these somewhat limited like they used to, like, some people don't get them. Enough people get them, but some people don't. I think that would be the recipe. Getting back to the recipe of success. And man, I can't tell you how much those shattered backboards are beautiful.
They are. There's
I
another
love that shoe.
detail. I bet you noticed this too. There is a detail on this page that will be something that they use to market as well, I think. You see the detail. You probably do. And that is the laces on the 5s.
Oh, yeah.
Jordan, I mean, they're black, right? They're white laces on this shoe. If this is indeed the shoe, which Jordan swapped out the laces and it became a thing, right?
Mhm.
So that is a cool little detail if I'm right there.
Yeah.
But man, I mean, there's so many. I mean, come on, this is awesome.
This is amazing. I think the two 4s that are sandwiched in between the Black Cat 3s and the cement 4s those are mocks. So that's why I'm fairly certain with the gum bottom that those are going to be like the SB pine green that we saw. Could be something else, but that's what I'm thinking.
But those two are the only. I mean, they're cool, but those are the only, I would say, filler, right? If it's an album, and you got some really good songs, and then you got some filler songs, like that feels like filler songs here. But all the rest of them are awesome.
Yeah, and it brings me to this next slide, because there's one obvious missing here, and it's the holiday release of the 11s. And they decided to put all their thought into this because these are a snooze. A 2025 holiday release is a steel colorway. It's like an all black colorway with a gray Jumpman. So like a shadow or not a steel really, but a shadow colorway of the Jordan 11 maybe. Not a huge fan. I don't know if it's the color or what, but the patent leather looks like it's jumbo size on this shoe. I don't know. What do you think? I thought it was kind of a downer, but makes sense with what else they're releasing throughout the year.
I mean, is this really any different than the playoff? Really, not the flu games, but is it really that different? Is it different?
Like the
is that different? 72 and 10s? Like, is it different than that? I mean, small details on it. I could see this being a shoe that a bunch of college kids end up playing in, just to be different, all black. Yeah. I mean, I love the 11. It doesn't look good on me. This is probably, I like the shoe, but it would look terrible on me. I'm already slow at this point in my life. If I was to wear these playing or running, I'm going to look even slower. I'll be like running through a sand pit.
Well, that brings me to an interesting question that I did not have on the doc tonight, but are we past
prime? I am. You're in your prime.
Oh, I'm not asking about that.
I'm kidding.
Are we past? You mentioned slow. Obviously, Jordans now are not built. Jordan retros are not built for performance. They're not like a Protro that Kobe has, that Protro line. But are we past like the Julius Randle at Kentucky wearing the Concords in games? I don't feel like a ton of people wear retros at college anymore.
I don't think we're past that. I think the 11s are the exception. I think you see more 11s than you probably think. I think of that era too. You see more 13s because it's a really good basketball shoe. The 12s are kind of clunky, but like these and 13s, I feel like you see pretty regularly.
I don't know. I feel like I long for the days of Kemba Walker and John Wall and the one that
Arizona, like Arizona players always had heat. Jason Terry.
Yeah, that's
like Arizona,
but yes,
UConn.
Yeah, UConn, Kentucky,
Georgetown, Kentucky.
Like when Cal first got to Kentucky, like they had the budget. Nike gave them anything they wanted. Every single player was wearing retro Jordans that hadn't come out yet. I mean, I remember looking, and it could have been a violation at the time. I don't know, but James Young, which you might remember who that is,
I
but
remember
most
James
people aren't going to remember. Like he never made it in the NBA. Really, he had his own Nike logo in college. Like one of his warm-up shirts was his own Nike logo. He wasn't that kind of player, but he went to Kentucky, and he was actually really good at Kentucky. But, like, I don't think we're gonna get back to really those days. And I don't know if that's NIL, maybe has something to do with that. But like, not Kentucky, man, they beat a lot of teams walking into the gym. I mean, the stuff they had on, like, look good, play good, or look good, feel good, play good, whatever the saying is. But I feel like we're past that a little bit. I don't know. I just don't see a team. I feel like most teams are more performance.
Well, that's why there's so many teams wear Kobe's.
Right.
Yeah.
Anyways, I'll get off our little soapbox for now. I think you sent these in, a little New Balance.
This is a collab, though. Yeah.
Leon Dor.
Yeah.
What is-
It's a good.
I'm not sure what this model is, but
I can't remember, but it's decent. It's better than a lot of the other models that are used. But it's a collab, and it's a big brand, and so this is not their first collab with New Balance. I like the top ones and I like the bottom ones, and I'm throwing the blue and the orange away. But I think the biggest thing I'm pointing out here is they picked a better model than any other of these other weird collabs that we keep seeing, where there's these deep cut New Balance models that are dad shoes to the nth degree. And they kept it simple on the colors. Very simple. The tan down here on the bottom is beautiful. I know you hate the N, but that's a great shoe.
I would love for somebody, I don't really feel like doing this. I'm sure if I get bored enough, I will do it. I would love if somebody got all the different N's that they use on New Balance so I could rank them. But I don't want to go through and find them all. But this is a better N, I would say. I'm trying to get for Fry Guy and those like Fry Guy, trying to get the actual. This is the 990, so they're classic 990, but this is the V4, so 990 V4, and it says 1 V6, so I'm assuming that's the bottom one. The bottom one.
It just got way less of the bubbly, plasticky crap that I dislike so much about all these other New Balance collabs.
Yeah, I think the bottom one is a V6.
Okay, so it's different than the other ones?
Yeah, and it looks like it has more of a Yeezy 700s or 750 sole, whatever that is. Wave Runner sole.
Yeah, it does. Well, I like those, and I like the top ones.
I don't love the top ones, but I kind of like the orange ones, to be honest.
Well, that makes sense. It's a homer pick for you.
Homer pick, yeah. Yeah.
I don't know if you have this in the slide, but it's a segue here, and you might.
I do.
There's some other New Balance news this week. Is that what you're?
Yeah.
We might as well talk about it. And now listen, let's be honest. I'm really frustrated about this one because this person has no business going to play at Duke. No business. I want to like this guy so much, and he's dead to me.
I don't know if I have it. I definitely put it in there, but it didn't make the final.
That's fine. Well, here, I'll just say it. So some news of the week is that Cooper Flagg signed with New Balance. And so Kawhi Leonard, Zach LaVine, who else is
Goff.
Oh, yeah, Coco Goff.
Tyrese Maxey.
Is
one of their big guys this year.
So, but that's pretty big news that they got a really big name. I mean,
yeah.
Did you read any of it, why he signed with them?
No.
It feels very Jordan-like Like I know what I like what they represent, what they're about, and they're on the come up, and it's a new brand that's trying to build into the space of basketball. And I was like, man, I can get behind that all day. Like I like that thinking. But
He's from like the north, right?
Maine,
Yeah, that kind of makes sense with New
yeah.
Balance.
So he
and
grew up wearing a lot of New
New,
Balances, and
New Hampshire, I think, is where New Balance is out of. Maybe
didn't know that.
I don't know for sure. I might have just made that up, but
I do
feel like there's
wonder,
something out of there.
and maybe we'll get some more clarity on this as the season gets closer. How does that impact his deal with Duke? Is he allowed to wear New Balance with the?
I don't
With
think
a
so. I don't believe he's allowed to. I think it would just be for this year would be the off court stuff.
Okay.
So, I mean, he can't wear any. I think he has to wear
Nike.
Nikes or Jordans in game.
Okay. So anyway,
So,
big
yeah.
week for New Balance.
Yeah, big week. That's that. I mean, that could be the way that the everything looks in that storytelling. I mean, New Balance did a good job. They
Well,
just,
and
like
listen,
you said, they took a page out of Jordan's playbook finally and made it about the story. And Adidas kind of did it with Ant Edwards. I mean, it's kind of fun to have some other people besides just
Yeah.
Nike.
and then the other end of that, if you're Cooper Flag, is that, you can go and sign with Nike and just be another Nike
guy,
athlete,
right? Yep.
or you can get the Steph Curry treatment and be like, they're going to throw the bank at him, right? They're
Yeah.
desperate.
Yep.
And why not create your own thing, your own lane?
Yeah, it's
cool.
better than having, I mean, Zach Levine, he's not pushing.
Not now.
He's not pushing product out here.
Not now.
No. All right. I think next up we got some Pumas that are supposed to make you run a lot faster.
I wanted to psalm this, and we have the same.
Okay. Go ahead.
Do you remember the bounce shoes from my childhood?
Made you jump higher?
The jump shoes.
Yeah.
But apparently these are better for running, and if you see them in motion, it's a very interesting motion.
Yeah.
But it is totally the jump soles. I mean, you better be dunking after you run a mile in these.
They kind of got that like last year or 2 years ago we talked about Adidas with the shoes that had the donk on them.
Mm-hmm.
They kind of got a booty on the heel of these
Quite a
shoes
bit.
too. A little Jordan 2 on the heel action. You see what I'm talking about right there?
Yeah. Oh yeah. Good call.
Yeah. Flyknit looking, which I think all running shoes are pretty much that sock liner now. Mesh sock liner. But yeah, what a crazy shoe. I think if you are truly competing in a marathon, I think these are illegal. Because of the way they make you run faster. Which is interesting. Like, I don't know why you would make these shoes. I would assume only people that are competing would wear this. But don't take my word for that. I would just imagine that these are performance enhancing shoes.
Well, can you imagine walking through the mall and seeing somebody with these on? It'd be absolutely ridiculous. This is a one function shoe. It's no different than like a golf cleat or a whatever the shoes that they wear, a bowling shoe. This only has one function. You never wear them unless you're running, I guess.
Yeah, I wonder if you have. I mean, we have quite an age gap in terms of like sneakers, or sneakers experience growing up. But the shoes that we were talking about, the jump shoes that made you jump higher, I feel like the only time I saw people wearing them, it was like part of the uniform. Like if you had those shoes, you had to carry around the gallon of jug of water.
Yeah,
it's like the same overlapping person. I don't know if that's the same for you, but everybody that I saw wear the jump shoes they were about the jug life, man.
I would also like to pose a question or a poll that if you did the jump shoes and you followed the protocol, were you able to jump higher? Did you dunk?
Or do you not have knees anymore?
So not confession, story is that I had some friends who were more wealthy end up with those jump shoes when I was, whatever, 94, 95. And my foot grew fast. So like I was a 12 pretty quick. And I took the jump shoes, and they're a 10, 9 or a 10. And I would run, and man, my foot was so crammed in those things. Like my toes are all. What I'm saying is I tried them, but they were way outside of comfort, and I didn't do it very long, much less consistently, because it wasn't my size. Nor was I going to pay for the shoes. But I would love some feedback on those if anybody had success with them.
Did you borrow? You said took them. Like, did you steal them?
Took them. Yeah, I mean, they weren't using them anymore, and I took them out of their basement.
Okay. I think the statute of limitations ran out. So
well, let's just say the person that I took them from would never listen to this podcast, and they were probably Keithed out. And it's the same person. He's never going to listen to the podcast.
All right, perfect.
I'm safe.
Next up, Nike and Lego announce a partnership.
Do you have
no more
Adidas
Lego shoes? No, I can bad radio it, but
don't worry about it. So what is cool about this is that apparently, I'm guessing, you're going to be able to go into a Lego store and buy a Jordan 11 Lego model to put together, which is pretty cool.
That is pretty cool.
I don't see Lego doing like a legit shoe. I could be way off base. Like, actually, Nike is so desperate, and Lego is such a huge brand that it would make sense that they did a Lego Air Max 1 or something. But it does look cool in the pictures that I saw.
Like in the little video, it looks like it's more of Nike branded Legos rather than Lego branded Nikes.
Correct.
Which I think is kind of cool. I kind of hope that. Do you remember? This might have been past your time, but when I was little, I had all these NBA Legos.
Oh, I still have some right over here.
Yeah, I still got mine too. I think they're in the shed. But Allen Iverson, and it would be cool if they brought that back out, and it had like the Lego basketball court. So I don't know.
Well, they can make that happen with this, or Kobe.
Yeah,
right. There was a Kobe.
Yeah. There's a Kobe, Michael Redd.
I have the Kevin Garnett one sitting on my desk at work.
Ooh, that'd be a good spot for him. I should probably do that. All right. Yeah. I thought that was kind of cool with the stuff that they could potentially do. Another one you sent in, and I really liked this.
Really like them.
The Jordan 39 and A Ma Manier's. What is this?
I can't remember what it's called.
I don't remember what it's called either. I'll look it up while we talk about it. But different for A Ma Maniere. They're going with a non-retro silhouette. What do you think?
Really like them. I really like the texture on the brown. It's different. I really like the sole, the brownish, tannish. Looks very Yeezy. Like things I like about Yeezys. I bet they're super cozy. I don't know if I love the camo looking, but this is a great color palette on this shoe. It's a great look.
Yeah, the camo is not particular to the A Ma Maniere shoe. I think that's on every model 39. So, I just like the color blocking. Like you've got that camo, but then the different color overlay on top of it, like what looks like a grayish brown. I don't know. I really like it. I think this shoe looks really good, and I appreciate Jordan giving them this silhouette, a new silhouette. It reminds me, and we talk about it all the time, it reminds me of the Jordan 33 when they let Travis Scott do one.
Amen. It's the same. I felt the same when I saw it.
Is that the only other Jordan in the 30s that we
Probably.
only talk about that one, and that's the only other collab that we have. And I feel like it's putting like you need something to elevate these new shoes. So when somebody sees this shoe in 20 years, they say, "Oh, I remember that." Like, are we just going to be 1 through 12 for the 1 through 13 for the rest of our lives? I mean, for the rest of Nike's life, I'm sure Jordans will die out at some point, but if you want it to continue, you need a Travis Scott 33. You need a in year 39. This pack, I think there was 6 shoes. It's called While You Were Sleeping. So this is the While You Were Sleeping 39.
Yeah, it's great.
Yeah, it's
I
really
don't
cool.
really don't mind the 39. It's a good looking shoe. Now I've read a really bad review about them and the performance and how they feel, but I like it. It's
But
a
who
cool shoe.
cares? We want cool. We want
We want
cool.
cool, and this is cool.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's kind of like our reviews. We want, if it's bad, make it funny.
Yeah.
Look, if it
It's just
sucks,
like
make
our
it
reviews.
cool.
Amen.
All right, next up. Ooh, we've talked about this before, but I think this is the first official pictures that we've gotten. It's the Mellow Ball MB.03 or something like that is what they
This
call
is
it.
the 4.
Oh, this is number 4.
So
Yeah,
so here's what I wanted to talk about. If I set all 4 models in front of you, outside of the first one that's got the little spiky things at the top, the little doily looking, all the rest of them are exactly the same. This looks like how does this any different than the 2 or the 3?
Well, the 3 was the one that looked like the shoe was like ripping open, right? It had like this scratch, like
Was it?
Yeah.
I just don't see this being that different. And maybe that's what they're going for. Is like, hey,
This one's like the
if
burn
it's
victim.
broke, if it's not broke, don't fix it. It's also weird that they got all these.
Looks as bad as his tattoos, right?
And it does match his tattoos. But why do they? It's weird that they have all these LaMelo-isms. 1 of 1, rare air, mellow on the side. Like that's kind of cheesy. Also, his stock is really, really low right now. He's got he has been jumped by the other guy in his class, Anthony Edwards. Oh, and he's also been jumped by Tyrese Halliburton. And it's not close. There's a huge gap.
So that's the 3.
Okay.
The 1, I think the 1 is by far the best. I was trying to find the 2. Here's the 2 is like it had like flames on it as well. If you can
Okay.
So a little bit.
It's interesting that they all have the general same shape, same feel.
Yeah.
Right.
A lot of them, yeah. I would say that's the case. This is by far the worst one. I mean, what are they doing on this shoe?
But I think you're right. I think they just took his tattoos and they threw it on a shoe and called this the Mellow 4.
Yeah.
So, although all that being said, you're going to see it all over the AAU courts, and in 6 months from now, you'll see a ton of them.
This is ugly. This is one of the ugliest shoes.
It's ugly.
That's come through basketball in a while. All right. Next up, Damian Lillard getting his own Baby Milo character for his new Bape collab. That is the first colorway that we've seen, and maybe one of the only colorways we've seen of the Dame 10. Are we on 10 now? I think we're at 10.
Wow.
So anything else other than this is really cool that he got his character?
Cool.
Yeah.
Okay. It's really cool. It's a really cool idea. He's got a collab. He usually does a Bape shoe. We've talked about the Fighter Jets that came out a few years ago. That's a good shoe.
Yeah. Is there a particular Dame that stands out to you among?
Not one of them. And I love Dame. Love Dame, the basketball player. Couldn't tell you any of his shoes.
I think he does do a Bape one every year, but not Shaq Gnosis, the Dame Gnosis, where they did the Shaq, the Reebok Shaq and the Adidas.
Yeah, okay.
Co-branded.
I think I remember that.
Yeah, I thought that one was pretty cool. That's probably the only one that I ever really can actually pick out.
Same.
Uh,
I find it shocking that he's got 10 shoes. Even more
Yeah.
shocking is that Donovan Mitchell has how many? 4, 5,
6, I think.
6.
Yeah.
Dang.
Yeah. It's pretty wild. All right, the last one. This is pretty bad, but you sent it in.
I hope it's the pink slide.
Oh, it is the
Yes.
furry slide. Nike
Oh.
Calms with fuzzy fur. This is a all pink croc looking. It's not really a croc, but you can just. Why did you send this in, Hayes?
Because we can also SOM it. They took the back of a Hirachi and they're going to call that the back of it, right? You see that?
Yeah,
The
I did see
Hirachi.
that. Yeah, good call.
Are these house shoes? Are they? I mean, it looks like it's got a bottom to be worn like an Air Force One sole, is what that looks like.
If this is
Also,
a house shoe, I don't hate it. It looks like a comfy
okay.
house shoe.
Also, do you remember when they did the Flightposite clog? Do you remember that
Yes,
shoe?
those came out last
So,
week. Some of
oh,
them.
I forgot about that. So it looks like they overlaid that with some pink carpet, took the back off of a Hirachi, and they call that the fuzzy fur or whatever you want to call it.
Yeah, it looks like the Philly Fanatic dipped in pink paint.
Okay. It definitely looks like a Muppet. Muppet-like.
Yeah, Miss Piggy.
We aren't this demographic, whoever's going to buy this. This is horrible.
It is horrible. The demographic for this is the kids who are wearing pajamas to church.
Yeah. Okay. Fair.
Yeah, where these will fit right in.
This also looks like minimal effort. Like it just looks like they recycled parts of different shoes and they threw it together.
Yeah.
So it's cheap.
The straps on the side, I guess the adjustable side part of the straps, look like terry cloth, like robe material.
Yeah, it does.
Interesting shoe all around.
Interesting shoe.
And we've been somming, so let's just keep on somming with our sneaker sommelier, where each step is savored and every sole scent tells a story. All right, we're looking at the first ever LeBron training shoe. This one's a classic somm. I'm sure we could go a number of different ways, but we've seen this shoe plenty of times before. So go ahead.
Do you feel like if this was what are we on? LeBron 20. What are we on?
22 is what we just saw in the Olympics.
I feel like if this was the LeBron 22, this would be a huge win. It's a cool looking shoe. I like the color blocking and it's simple. And if they'd followed this up from the 21, and this is what 20 was the one that we really liked, the double swoosh. What was the double swoosh?
The double swoosh was 20. The
20.
first double swoosh was 20, yeah. It
feels like they went too early with the 22. Like this should have been the 22. This is a great shoe. I think it's cool. Like the colors, the Air Max 95 colorway is what this probably should be called.
Mm-hmm.
It does look like the sole, like it looks like this is plastic on the swoosh side, but then on the inside of the shoe, like the outside of it, I guess that's to help you prevent you from turning your ankle, maybe. So they made it more of the rubbery plastic, and then they went to leather on the inside of the shoe, right? Is that what it looks like to you?
Yeah, I can't really tell on the inside, but yeah, maybe. It's like I don't know. Is this supposed to be? This isn't supposed to be like a Metcon, right? Like a weightlifting shoe. This is just trainer. I think it's just a simple trainer. It really reminds me of. I was trying to look it up. I wasn't ignoring you.
You're fine.
There's a Nike Free Run that back in the day reminded me of a Kobe 5, but I don't know what this Free Run is called, and but it looks almost exactly like it, and I just wish I could.
Another thing is
2013 era.
Hey, look, if you if you squint and cover the swoosh, it's a Yeezy 350 with a different sole.
Yeah.
I mean, it is.
The inside for sure. The inside
The
looks
sock looking
exactly
thing,
like
it is. It is.
Yeah.
Even the texture of it looks like that knitted Yeezy material. Anyway, I thought this was I think this is a pretty cool shoe.
All right. I'm trying my last search to see if I can find it, and I don't think I can. Oh well, we're just gonna move on then. Next up on the sommelier portion, Montrez Harrell has been wearing, I don't know what league. He's like in Europe
China?
somewhere. Maybe China.
China.
Thailand, something. Philippines, maybe. Anyways, he's been wearing his own signature sneaker, and we're showing it right now. Hayes, try to describe it.
Do we get the brand, or is this it's just purely independent?
I think it's purely independent. It's his own thing.
Okay. So it looks like a craft project at a Hobby Lobby course on how to build a shoe.
Mhm.
It looks like you basically took yarn for the lace. You went into the fishing section at Hobby Lobby. You got some netting. You just happened to be over near where the material is, and you said,
The
you know what?
fleece.
I want to grab some argyle, some fleece, some argyle fleece. Some random patch of suede around the toe.
A little Jordan 12 toe box action, or a little
Yeah.
like down the side there.
So, some Jordan 6, is it 16, where they had the shroud that went over the top that's about to come back out?
Yeah,
Is that the
16 or 17? No, it's 16. I think is right.
Also, the clouds, like there is no rhyme or reason to this shoe. There's no apparent scheme to it, or
The tongue looks like you maybe got some like ACG, something like that. ACG gear. The colors, like the heel, is like you bought 8 different shoes, maybe 10 different shoes from Goodwill, and just took a piece from each one.
Yeah, that's what it is. And then he tops it off by wearing WNBA socks.
Are those WNBA
Yes,
socks?
indeed, he is wearing WNBA
I don't think
socks.
so.
That is what that logo is, right?
It looks like a Halloween style Nike
Yeah,
man.
I think that's
like it's
Lisa
a
Leslie.
it's like a Slim Reaper or a ghost.
I don't think so, buddy.
They don't have legs. There's no legs on that person.
Yeah, that's because it's the torso.
That's not the WNBA symbol, man. That is a bootleg WNBA symbol if that's what it's supposed to be. There's no way those are. That's not it. Yeah.
Buddy, it is.
Logo.
No, this right here. It's that logo, just the legs. I bet it's folded. I bet it's like,
look at the hand.
Look at
Look
this.
at the hand.
Look at
the
this one
hand
right here.
on the sock. That is not the same thing.
That's Tina Thompson, bruh. 100%. This one right here. This one.
I don't think that's the same. Those are fake. If so, that is a bootleg. He got those down the street at the corner store in China.
That is that picture.
That is a bootleg sock, though. I'm telling you,
Look,
he got those in China.
Even the thumb.
That does not.
That is
like a fake.
It's just because they're crinkled up.
No, I don't think so. I think those are jacked up. His socks are fake.
Man, he's wearing WNBA socks.
Maybe.
Which makes more sense why he's wearing these shoes in China.
These shoes are terrible. Last on our Psalm list, the Jimmy Butler 3 from Li Ning came out. And it's an all black colorway. There's a lot going on in this shoe.
There's a lot going on. I don't understand the toe, how we've got these
Mm.
honeycomb looking thing. Is it plastic? There was another view of it that looked very Jason Tatum with the thumb thing that comes up. They look like a dress shoe in a lot of ways. Looks like a Cole Haan, right?
Yeah.
I'm getting a lot of Cole Haan. I don't even know what to suggest to make this any better. It's an odd shoe, which makes
the
sense because it's
The
Jimmy Butler. He's
material
odd.
on this is just perplexing.
Mhm.
Like the whole side panel, the back panel comes up really high. Yeah, I don't know. I don't really have a psalm for this. This is completely original.
I think Cole Haan is the only psalming we can do on this.
Maybe. Yeah, you could say that. Yeah. Oh, anyways, we're welcome to keep on moving. We were gonna have Dan on to do some Dan Duel, but we'll save some. You know what? Actually, we'll give a little bit of time to our friend. Have you seen George Kittle go off on the media? Have you seen this about sneakers?
No.
It's not really going off, but I feel like this is both of us during our workday sometimes, like a casual Friday maybe, like where sneakers can be worn. So just enjoy this brilliance from George Kittle.
Okay.
So you guys are out there at every practice. You guys watch us all the time, but there's a special teams period where I catch some footballs and I like to observe you guys. And you guys really need to up your sneaker game. It's absolutely atrocious. I got some Vomeros. Those are fire. And Grant wears Vans every single day. New Balances. They look like Vans. Yeah, those are Vans. It's okay. But you wear those every day, so I need you to switch those up. But I observe all your guys' shoes, and I am disappointed in you guys as a community. So if we could up those, please. It's year 8, guys. Let's figure this out together. Okay, now it's all you guys. Again, so you guys are out there at every practice.
That is
Yeah, it's great. I just love when he says it's year 8. We got to do better.
not just that. It was what are those New Balances? He wears Vans every day. Oh, what are those New Balances? Yeah, they're New Balances. That was great.
Yeah, I feel like that when I see the guy in front of me. He would listen to this podcast, not because he's a sneaker guy, but he's like, oh, the guy behind me at work has a podcast. He might like. I wonder what he
Invite him.
talks about.
Invite him.
Yeah, but he's a Hey Dudes guy.
So invite him to the podcast.
I can't do that.
Tell
think
him
he's
about this podcast. Maybe
I'm
it'll change
not.
his life.
I can't.
Well, tell me his tell me
wears
his name.
He wears Hey Dudes every day. I just don't
you know
know
what
if they're
size
gonna
shoe he
come back
is?
from that. I don't. I'll ask him.
I think the best mode here is, hey, more than sneakers moment. You want to create one? Show up with a pair of shoes and put them on his desk. See what happens.
He's like the guy that you work with that got some Olakais or something.
Okay. Give him some good shoes. I dare you.
He's more of an Amazon shoe
Do
guy.
you like him?
Yeah.
Then give him some good shoes and have him
All right.
change his life.
We'll see. I'm probably not going to do that, but
And then get him baptized.
and then
Get him in the water.
He's actually already Church of Christ. He's already
Oh, is he?
going to heaven.
He's the only one.
Oh. All right. Well, we got about 10 minutes left. So,
Dude, let's do the football stuff when Dan and Landon come. I'm just not going to be any help here.
dude, wait, I think when you understand where the angle I'm coming from at this, I brainstormed about 5 or 6,
All right.
and we don't have to do too much others, but yeah, let's see. Let's see from this page. Actually, we'll start with the NFC because I think I had some good ones for the NFC. Let me pull up my notes. All right, I think the first one, and this is gonna make if you're a Cowboys fan out there, this might make you
You've
very
got
mad.
the old Redskins logo here. This is very
Yeah,
risky.
these are old. The the Rams logo is old too. Most of these logos are actually old now, but the Cowboys. Let me know if you think this fits or not. Monarchs. I feel like a monarch is the prototypical jorts with a monarch. That's a Cowboys. The Cowboys are there to make money, just like the monarch is. It's not a cool shoe. The Cowboys haven't been relevant in terms of winning in quite a while, at least playoff success. Nobody's getting to the playoffs in the Monarchs either. So I feel like that's
Okay.
and the colorway, it matches perfectly with the Cowboys.
Yeah, that's
Um,
good reasoning. I'm following that.
Okay, so that's where I went. This one is more of a team makeup, but for San Francisco, I went with the Converse weapons just because they have so many weapons. I mean, we saw George Kittle already. They got McCaffrey, Debo, Juwan Jennings. Shout out Tennessee. Shout out Murfreesboro. Brandon Ayuk, who wants to be traded, but so I went Converse weapon because they have. I feel like the most weapons in the league.
I'm gonna say that I probably would have made it a rainbow shoe, pride shoe.
So I will be honest. One of my first ones was the J Balvin Air Jordan 1. That's all tie dye. I had that on the list for San Francisco.
Probably a better fit than the weapon, Converse weapon.
Okay, that's I'm not
Especially
gonna go
because they hate guns in California. There's no way they carry a weapon.
there. Okay.
So I'm not
There
saying it's
you go.
true.
I needed some feedback. So, okay, so I had one a few questions for you. Hey dudes, would it be the Tampa Bay Buccaneers? No, I'm sorry, not the Buccaneers. Would it be the Arizona Cardinals? Arizona retirement place, Cardinals pretty much a dumpster fire of a franchise. Or would it be the Jacksonville Jaguars? Also a dumpster fire, also a place where people go to retire and wear hey dudes. Or do they both get their own?
I think I would go Arizona
Arizona?
because I think Jacksonville's trending up. I don't know if Arizona's ever that.
Yeah, okay. So Arizona Cardinals get the hey dudes. If we flip over to the AFC,
What about the Redskins?
oh,
The
the
moccasins?
Commanders. Oh yeah,
get
the
some
Kyrie.
moccasins?
They get the Kyrie
They
moccasins.
get the Kyrie.
The Kyries for sure. Flipping over to the New York Jets. Aaron Rodgers, conspiracy theorist. Well, maybe not conspiracy theorist, but interesting guy. Very interesting guy. I was gonna put the Trump shoes for the New York Jets and
Okay.
Aaron Rodgers.
I didn't think he was a big Trump guy.
I
just
don't
thought he
know.
was a conspiracy guy.
Yeah, I'm not entirely sure. He was big on the no mask thing. Even lied about getting vaccinated. Which is
I forgot about
interesting.
that.
Yeah.
Never mind. Put him in the Trump shoes.
Okay. The Baltimore Ravens, they recently signed Derrick Henry. They've got Lamar Jackson. So I had the Usain Bolt, the golden cleats. Kind of goes with the purple and gold. But they're going to run the ball down your throat. So why not pick the fastest man ever? The tried and true team that you know is going to be in the playoffs no matter what. One of the top. This used to be the Patriots, I think, but I think it's now shifted to the Kansas City Chiefs. I think the Chiefs are an Air Jordan 1. What do you think about that?
Yeah.
Yeah?
It fits.
I don't have anything for the Cleveland Browns.
I was going to ask you about the Browns.
Yeah, I was going to make a Deshaun Watson joke about massages, but I didn't have any shoes to go along with that. So,
what was those New Balance that were orange like that? It's probably that. It could do that.
Yeah, or something phallic like the Hulk shoes.
Wow. Just not green.
Right, just like a orange version of the Hulk shoes. The Dolphins would be an interesting one, and the Patriots might be an interesting one too.
Dolphin colorways. There's a Nike flight from probably 89 or 90
Oh yeah,
that I loved. It's a grail for me. That's Dolphin colorway.
could you do? I don't know why this says Dolphins to me. Maybe Agassi grew up in or trained in Florida. The hot lavas.
That's,
the
by the way,
Dolphins?
that's Friday. We're 2 days from that.
Oh wow, you
Fun
still
fact.
going for them?
100%.
Okay, that's what I like to hear.
It would be a stretch, but yeah, I could see that just because the lava colorway.
Okay. The Bengals. You got Joe Burrow at quarterback. Puma Clydes. They're both smooth operators. Clyde, Frazier, Joe Burrow. Cool cats. I don't know if that fits.
Also, remember the Jordan 6 cigar? I feel like Joe Burrow's a cigar guy. Like I feel like I've seen him smoking a cigar several times. Remember, it was like
Okay.
it was called Cigar and Wine, maybe Wine and Cigar. Remember
Yeah.
that colorway?
Mm-hmm. I think I do. I
Maybe a
remember the
stretch.
wine ones. Yeah, I'm trying to go through. Would you do Bo Jacksons for the Raiders, or would you do Black Air Force Ones for the Raiders?
Oh, Black Air Force Ones.
Yeah, I was trying to think. So I had Black Air Force Ones at first for the Bengals because they used to be like the jail
Yeah,
Bengals. But yeah, I think the Raiders now really fit that persona. Titans. I don't really have a good one for the Titans. Something largely, unfortunately, I'm going to make a lot of people mad. Something largely irrelevant.
Eek. Something
I
that's
mean, if
8 and
we're-
8.
it's like an Air Max 2012, Air Max 270 fit. You see a lot of them. You don't really see a lot of the Titans though.
Something or something that just hasn't aged very well, like the Kakuni, right? Or what's the other one that came out a couple weeks ago with the zipper? Remember that one? It had the zipper. It has the shroud zipper. It's probably
What kind of shoe
on.
was it?
It's a Nike.
Well,
It's
I
a
know
runner.
Nike, but
Here, hold up. I think
runner
it's
that had
on
a
sneakers
zipper
right
on it.
now. You're gonna know it as soon as you see it. But cool at the time, and then just as it's gone on, you're like, we shouldn't have retroed that one because it's not a great shoe.
Oh, I feel like the Texans. We could give them like the Travis Scott Jordan 33. Like they're a new team, so I don't think they should get like the Travis Scott OG 4. Sunder, right? Air Max or ACG Sunder or something.
Yes, Air Max Thunder.
Air Max Sunder.
Really cool at the time. Shouldn't sit. It's, of course, they're sitting. Who cares? Didn't age well. That's the Titans.
Also, Landon's a huge fan, just like the Titans. So I think that fits.
Makes sense.
That's a perfect fit. The Buffalo Bills. I don't really have a good one for the Bills, to be honest with you. The Bills, I feel like the Bills are like a Nike Pegasus. Sometimes they're good. Sometimes they really hurt your knees.
You don't
know where
remember
I'm
this, but
going
they
with
also lost 4 Super Bowls in a row when I was a kid, and they were like the
Yeah.
butt of all jokes.
Butt of all jokes could be
The Pandas.
the Pandas. Oh, the Bills being the Pandas. I like that. I'm reconsidering the Chiefs just because of everything that happened last year. I feel like the Chiefs probably need to be a red 550.
You hit the nail on the head.
Yeah, we can
Red
save.
550.
I don't know who the Jordan 1 would be, but yeah, the red 550 for the Chiefs we'll change that up.
Go back to the first
Um,
page. We go back to the first page.
Yeah.
I feel like the Jordan 1's going to have to go to like an OG, like the Chicago Bears. Yep. I feel like that's
Chicago.
they deserve
I
it.
mean,
They haven't
you-
been relevant football wise in a long, long, long time, but it does make
the Chicago
most sense.
ties. I mean, it makes total sense.
Or
but
the
you're right. One of the
Falcons-
first teams.
The Falcons, because of the bread, like the colorway.
I think there's stronger ties to the Bears.
Yeah.
I really, really do.
Yep.
The Falcons, Atlanta. I don't really have a good one for them.
Yeah.
A lot of the Saints. I mean, the only Atlanta, like Trey Young. Did Dominique Wilkins have a shoe?
Etonic,
That's what his shoe was.
I think. Or Avia.
Ah,
He might have been
Avia.
Avia.
The Patriots, or maybe the Bucks. For Tom Brady, could be the pump shoes, the Reebok pumps,
Yeah.
Deflategate.
Stretch, deep cut.
Yeah. Not too many others, so we won't belabor the point. But I feel like we did pretty good on that.
Yeah, not
I mean,
bad.
we could do a full
I
32.
followed you where you were going.
Yeah,
You were
so
right.
I think we're good.
But I do feel like we got to have some like an NFL preview, and it's going to take somebody that's just not me.
Oh, that's
To be
totally
more
fine.
fun.
I think maybe Dan and Landon. I do want Coop to come back on, Cowboy Coop, because there's some. Have you seen that double box Converse and Nike?
Mhm.
First time they're ever doing that. It's a skateboarder. I don't know who she is, but I want to know why she is deserving to be the first one to ever have a Converse and Nike joint shoe pack, whatever. So I would love to know when Coop can come back on. If you
Yeah,
could
he's very
arrange that.
knowledgeable with that kind of stuff.
Yeah. So we'll wait. I've waited 2 weeks, and so we'll just keep waiting on that one. And I can actually text him because I texted him today.
Yeah, he was telling me.
But
that.
anyways, yeah, thank you for listening to episode 183 of the Still
Amen.
Dripping Happy Hour. You could be anywhere in the world, but you're here with us, and we thoroughly appreciate that.
Yes.
Remember to go to the socials, send us rate us 5 stars, send us a review. We will read the reviews. I haven't looked at our reviews in a minute.
Yeah, I haven't
probably a
looked at
year.
any metrics or anything like that. If you were wondering, there will be a fit swap tomorrow.
Okay, I was actually worried. I
Are you
was
serious?
worried on Tuesday. I waited on Tuesday. And
No,
I
you
was like,
did
"That
not.
Never came. I promise. I looked
Wow.
it back and I saw that it wasn't there.
Well,
Disappointing.
we just had some complications, and I think you won't be disappointed. But tomorrow morning, I'll post it.
Okay. You're swapping tomorrow?
Well, no, it's already been recorded today.
Oh, okay.
We just didn't get a chance to do it yesterday. We had too many meetings and didn't work out. You know, I'm still
Yeah,
have a
pop
job.
quiz.
Pop quiz was last week.
Oh,
Yeah, I was
gotcha.
too busy working on the ACT and the contractor's license and bar exam.
Oh,
Do yourself a favor and go take the ACT. You won't regret it.
sounds like a punishment. Anyways, we love you all. We'll see you next week. Peace.
Love you guys. Thank you for listening.